hearts race, and the crowd goes wild. All across the nation, the Dirt Track Warriors duke it out for what matters the most: the trophy and the glory. This is Gas and Glory, presented by R&R Enterprises.
And welcome back to Gas and Glory, coming to you direct here from the studios at R&R Enterprises. My name is Kyle Luders. This handsome young devil off to my left over here is Neil Quick. Neil, how you doing today?
Handsome, yes. Young, not so much.
Feeling a little old today or something, bud?
Yeah, I feel old every day, Kyle.
Oh,
anymore. But doing good.
Doing good. Well, we like to hear that anyways. It's it's bittersweet here, Neil, because the racing season for us really is coming to an end or has already ended. World Finals were this past weekend. We're going to get on into that. NASCAR's got their last race of the season coming up this weekend. So does NHRA. A lot of the dirt guys, well, they've put the vehicles up on block stands for the wintertime. And, I don't know. It's kind of cool to see the season-ending champions and things like this and that. But reality's starting to set in that we ain't going to have much to talk about here before too much longer.
Well, it's definitely that time of the year. I know I've been working on a lot of stuff and really trying to switch gears to go for next year, but we still got a couple big things that are winding down here. I know with the ASCS National Tour and Brad Loyett's still leading the points there. It comes down to this weekend for him.
USAC's down there too.
Yeah, USAC's down there. That's another one. Brady Bacon holding a point lead there over Clausen.
BC, Brian Clausen.
Yep. So, there are two big series winding down, and I know everybody's looking forward to the very, very short break that we have before we go at it again here.
Chili Bowl, maybe?
Chili Bowl's
Oh,
coming.
Winter Heat.
Well, we got Winter Heat. We got and really there's not much of an offseason anymore. You got the Winter Heat series, Kokopah. You got the shootout coming out, Tulsa, and then followed by the Chili Bowl, and you got to fit the holidays in here. I guess in the next 6 weeks.
Exactly. And the cool thing about it now is from the Chili Bowl to Dirt Car Nationals in Florida, there's really only like three and a half weeks at most.
Yeah, it is. Things are happening really fast. I've been laughing at some of these guys that just finished the World of Outlaw season down there at Charlotte this last weekend. I've been seeing some pictures posting out there on social media, and these guys are pulling the decals off and going, hey, we're starting our 2015 season today. So,
among other things, they're trying different combinations and stuff like that. We'll get into that here in a little bit, but I'm glad that you brought up World Finals because we've got to talk about this. Donnie Schatz, 6th title, great racing action. It was the final 2 races of the season for the World of Outlaws STP Sprint Car Series as they tackled the Bad Boy Buggies. I just love saying that. Bad Boy Buggies.
Bad Boy Buggies.
Bad Boy Buggies. Triple B, not Better Business Bureau. No. World of Outlaws World Finals at the Dirt Track at Charlotte. On night number 1, it was Darren Pittman crossing the line just ahead of Rico Abreu to grab his 14th win of the season. Did so in high fashion. Glad to see Darren picking up a win. Kind of hearing a little bit, too, from the crew there that they've been experimenting with some 2015 stuff, and we may have seen a bit of a preview of that down at World Finals, so at least we know car number 9 is going to be fast.
Yeah, he was very quick down there. Rico continuing to impress throughout the season and winding down here, but he almost got one there the other night, and really interesting. I mean, with Rico performing well down there, and of course Brownie coming back and getting Saturday night deal.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that as well too. Now Rico, that was the first time he'd ever been at the Dirt Track at Charlotte, was the World Finals. By the way, he goes out and finishes 2nd on the opening race night. They had qualifying night Thursday night. So what you did is, if you were a sprint car or a late model, you drew 1 pill for Friday night show, 1 pill for Saturday night show. And the pill, just for those of you that may be a little unfamiliar, when you get to the racetrack, you sign in, you go in and you draw a pill, and that lines you up for how you're going to go out for hot laps and time trials. Now the big block modifieds, they do their qualifications through I believe it's heat races, yes. And some practice stuff like that. But Neil hit the nail on the head. Brian Brown, perennial bridesmaid. You know, if there was a movie about sprint car racing and Brian Brown, you'd have to call it 27 Dresses.
Well, it's one of those. You got me. No, it's one of those situations like Brownie, very, very good, and anywhere he steps out there, whether it's on the World of Outlaw ASCS deal, 410 weekly deal at Knoxville. I was shocked when I saw that he did win down there, not just that he won. I mean, I'm not shocked that Brian Brown won, but I was shocked to see it was his first World of Outlaw victory.
Yeah.
That kind of got me. I thought he had put one of these away before, and that has to feel good for him to get that kind of scratched off the list now.
You know, and when you think about it, I mean, your first World of Outlaws win is nothing to shake a stick at. It is special. It is awesome. It is a feeling of great success and elation. But to do it at a marquee event like the World Finals at the dirt track at Charlotte, $12,000 to win. In this event, Jeremy Elliott, I think, really hit the nail on the head. He goes, I had no idea how big of an event this was till I went down this year. And he walked away very impressed. Every time I've been, it's been great.
The pictures that I've seen down there, I mean, they've really brought dirt racing to Charlotte, the heart of NASCAR country, and they've pounded it in with this the World Finals event the last 3 years.
Well, three classes. I believe the event started in 07 or 08.
Okay.
And then they added in the big blocks here fairly recently. So, yeah, you have the 3 big classes. Go ahead.
Well, and that, just seeing the pictures, this place is packed.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a seat in the house to be found, and there's not very much standing room to be found either. Everybody's down there because you bring the best of the best in dirt racing together between sprint cars and big blocks and the late model deal. And really, again, like we were talking the week before on the show, this is the last race of the season for most of these guys, and the series coming to an end. But there is a lot of momentum to be carried. Pittman trying new 2015 stuff, trying to carry that over for Florida for Speed Weeks. It's going to happen real fast here. We're going on a break, but it ain't going to be long, folks.
Yeah, it ain't going to be long at all. And we talked about these drivers working on 2015 stuff. Brian Brown getting the win, been working on some 2015 stuff himself. But the other big news that night, by the way, epic race between Brian Brown and Stevie Smith. I believe half a car length was the margin of victory on Saturday night. Great way to put away the season with a very exciting finish. But Donnie Schatz, listen to this. Donnie Schatz, by signing into the pit area on Thursday night, officially claimed his World of Outlaws STP Sprint Car Series title. It was 6th one overall. Okay? He also brought down the late model. He brought down the, if you want to call it the Schatz house car, factory Schatz.
Yeah.
Brought down his own late model from North Dakota. Listen to this, Neil. Ran double duty.
Yeah.
Finished 15th on night number 1 in the late model and 9th on night number 2.
It's impressive.
When you consider that man doing double duty in the sprint car, no slouch, we know this.
Yeah.
But in the late model, going up against some of the best late model competition you will find anywhere, he's killing it.
Well, it's a situation that this has been a hobby for Donnie, just putting together, and I think it's bringing a little bit more passion and desire into doing some of this late model racing, carrying over from the sprint car deal, and it's very cool to see. And I really expect to see bigger events and Donnie doing bigger things with this late model deal. And he's got such established relationships through his sprint car side. A lot of it's going to carry over, and Donnie Schatz is going to be a threat out there for these boys at these big events. And God forbid that one of those big, I don't know what you call $25,000, $50,000 shows show up on a weekend, and you might be seeing him down there running for it.
You know, one of the things that crossed my mind is that each and every February in Florida, there you go, they run the Dirt Car Nationals. It's a 2-week deal. Week number 1, it is typically the UMP Dirt Car Modifieds and the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. Week number 2, big blocks and late models. Could we possibly see, since they typically do not schedule the sprint cars again until they head out west to Vegas in early March, maybe we see Donnie Schatz 2 weeks solid down in Florida running sprint cars 1 week and late model the next?
I think there's a very good possibility of that. I really do, and with what he's done, he's had a tremendous year. I think it's a record-breaking year point category for him this year.
Oh, yeah, all the wins and everything?
Yep.
Yes, sir, indeed. But, congratulations to a Team R&R driver, Donnie Schatz. Amazing performance in 2014.
Also, kind of on this note, just kind of talking about Schatz and some of the sprint car stuff out there, we do have to kind of do a shout-out for Craig Delansky back on the tour with the number 9 Destiny team, or number 7 Destiny team.
The car formerly known as the 9W. We can do it that way.
Yep.
formerly known as the 9W, the 7, heading into World Finals and back on the Outlaw Tour. That's going to be an exciting combination to watch. They got a top 10 down at Charlotte, and you see a lot of teams, like I noticed Chad Kemenaugh, Danny Holtgraver, some of those drivers jumping around rides, first time being in at World Finals. They struggled. They didn't make the A. So for Craig Delansky to go down there, and he had some familiarity with Scott Bennick, the crew chief on that team, but for them as a new team to go down there and pick up some solid finishes and really build some momentum heading into next year, I think is huge.
Oh, I think, of course, the team and what I saw that came together and what they've got going on, going to be a good team out there on the road next year. Really excited to see what they can put together and what they come out with at Florida, but excited to see the full-time team out there and Delansky back on the road with the show.
Road with the show.
Yep.
And speaking of more World Finals things, Darrell Lanigan won a late model feature and clinched his third series title. Kudos to him. Jimmy Owens won Saturday night for his sixth win at the World Finals. In the big block modifieds, Stuart Friesen won night number 1 for the big blocks with the Dr. Danny Johnson. Winning on night number 2, Billy Decker grabbed the title in that series. That wraps up the World of Outlaws and all of really the World Finals action. And now we kind of change a little bit and we start talking about NASCAR. And I wasn't here yesterday to get in on the water cooler talk with you and Ryan coming in Monday morning.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to hear your thoughts as NASCAR is down to its final 4 drivers. Ryan Newman bumped and banged his way literally into the chase in the last turn of the final lap against Kyle Larson. Kevin Harvick dominated the race and is one of the 4 title contenders along with Newman heading into Homestead next weekend, or this coming weekend, actually.
I think they're going to rename turn 3 and 4 over there, Newman's Corner.
Newman's Corner, that's good.
I mean, he was a good 3 cars clear on the inside of the white line in 3 and 4. He had no choice but to do it.
Here's the deal. Later on this year, folks, we're teasing this right now. By the way, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and in iTunes. So we have the graphic across the bottom. That's how you can find us. We're at Gas and Glory. We'd love for you to follow us along. Really going to be doing some cool stuff on there in 2015. But one of the things that we're really excited about, I'm glad that you mentioned this.
I think we should title this a move. I mean, this for the award show that you're about to go into here.
Coming up in December, folks, R&R Enterprises is pleased to announce the very first ever Squealy Awards. The Squealy Awards will be an award show like no other. It will be comprised of some of these offhand moments, best comments, best this, best that, worst this, worst that. I'm thinking we're going to have to name one of them the Kyle Lueders Drive It In Deep Moment of the Year. And I think that's what Ryan Newman really has going on for him there.
Drive it in moment? I think it's more like an 8 wheels or 8 tires are better than a 4 tires deal.
It's going to have to be something epic because, you see...
I've seen all kinds of different comments and hashtags on this. I think I've seen somewhere on one of the forums out there, he flat Laytonized Kyle Larson going back and I guess poking some fun up to Chad Layton up there at PA.
Oh, but, my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, watch the last...
That was a Kyle Lueders move, and you know it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, it was. Win it or wear it.
I keep thinking about this and thinking about the mood that he put on Larson there for that deal, and it gets me excited. I just wondered if Kyle ever thought about the idea of just slamming on the brakes and letting Newman just go straight to the wall.
You see, that was just, when I saw the video on that.
Yep.
I was like, we were watching it in the tower. I was at the drag strip at Las Vegas this past weekend. Sportsman cars were running. We didn't need to be outside. We were up in the tower. We were watching it. And there was probably 15 to 20 of us guys in there, and you should have heard the hooting and the hollering, the cheering and the jeering going on during that last lap. When Newman ESPN didn't even have the camera on it. And they just cut to it, and you just see Newman's just like, bam, just right into the side of him. It was awesome.
It was. And seeing some of the in-car pictures, I mean, I was just looking at it, and I was like, holy cow. I mean, he looks like he's going to pit road wide open.
He was all the way down on the apron.
Yeah, the slide job. Well, I can't call it a slide job. It wasn't clean, so it's not a slide job.
It was a pancake job is what it was.
The Kyle Lueders move. It was a Kyle Lueders move of the race.
And it stuck. So, But Ryan Newman, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, and Denny Hamlin, the 4 drivers that will compete at Homestead.
Who you taking in that one?
We'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay.
That's going to be a good preview discussion. I have my pick, and you're going to disagree with it, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. Something we do need to touch on, though, Neil,
Yep.
the Oval Nationals this past weekend out at Paris Auto Speedway in Southern California. While the wing sprint car guys were back having fun on the East Coast, the non-wingers were out west for some sun and some fun. Robert Ballou was the big winner and pocketed $20,000 for the victory. Brady Bacon, as you mentioned a little bit earlier, Neil, leads the USAC sprint car standings heading into the final weekend of the season down at Canyon Speedway Park. So looking forward to that.
Yes.
It's going to be very good. Brady Bacon in the Hoffman number 69, the Mean Green Machine.
Yeah.
Made for a great diecast this year.
Yeah, it did. Great 164th diecast, and could be a championship diecast after this weekend. And we're all pulling for him here, and hopefully he can clinch that thing up there.
Now, a question for you. Where can they pick up that diecast?
www.bradybaconracing.com.
There's several great ways that you can do it, folks. Brady Bacon Diecast. We love it. And we want to congratulate each and every member of Team R&R on a great weekend. And now that we've kind of wrapped that up a little bit, topics to discuss.
Oh, boy.
And you know, the sad thing is, I think we hit most of these already. But we're going to go ahead and do it again.
Okay.
We talked about World Finals just a little bit. As you were looking through the results, is there anything that stuck out to you in particular?
No, I mean, just good racing in general. Shots went down there, had a championship weekend. I was very impressed with his late model performance. The other thing that I kind of saw down there that I thought was neat was Stevie Smith. I mean, continuing being very strong. He runs good down there and had a good drive and almost put one in the bag. And Brian Brown, again, him. I mean, the guys that you looked at ran good down there are the guys that we've talked about week in and week out. Mm-hmm. Rico, almost putting it away the first night. Darren coming through and getting him. And then the battle between Stevie Smith and Brian Brown. Good sprint car racing, and as it goes late model-wise, I mean, Darrell Lanigan, very, very successful, had a good run, but racing in general was very impressive, and crowd and atmosphere. Dirt Motorsports and Charlotte Motor Speedway down there at the dirt track have really sealed the deal for the World Finals at the end of each year. It's an impressive event.
Must attend, must see event, in my opinion. I was a little bummed that we didn't get to go this year. I mean, it's Charlotte. We talk about these things, folks. When we go to Knoxville, and I'll just use this for a little bit. When R&R goes to Knoxville, we're on it. It is nonstop all week long, and that it almost feels like it just goes by, and you never know what happens to the week. You're driving home Sunday, and you're trying to stay awake. There's crumpled cans of Red Bull and candy bar wrappers on the floorboard of the rental car coming back. The interesting thing, though, in my opinion, is Charlotte doesn't feel like that. Charlotte actually feels like an event, and maybe it is because it's at the end of the season and this and that. It doesn't feel as big. It feels more like an event. It feels more like I hate to use the word party, but I'm going to. It feels a little more relaxed, a little more laid back than even, let's say, a King's Royal or National Open or whatnot. You're there for 3 or 4 days. Everybody's in a good mood most of the time. And it's just a great event. Now, one driver I want to give a shout-out to, Danny Lasowski, is making one heck of a case for this big game car. He has done very well in it, finished second. He finished 6th down at the World Finals. He also did really well over at Atomic for their big event at the end of October. Danny he and Guy Forbrook back together.
Yeah.
Doing well. Very impressed.
Well, and it'll be interesting to see if this combination stays in place for 2015. I know there's a lot of big things going on, and this may be a prelude to a team being put together to run that new series, the NSL. The
NSL did release a tentative schedule here recently, and we do know that the 4 dates on it 4 of the dates, will go to Knoxville, which is something that, Neil, if you can get Knoxville on your schedule, you're doing something right, because that's sprint car speaking, that is the preeminent track.
Yeah, it is. As sprint car racing goes, definitely it starts with Knoxville and Eldora close behind on there.
Taking a look at some of these races that are on here already, you see Eagle Raceway, Knoxville Raceway, Jackson Speedway, Huset's, Crawford County, Southern Iowa Speedway, Clay County Fair Speedway, Cedar Lake Speedway. If you're a sprint car driver in the Midwest and they are touting a $350,000 point fund for teams, this is very lucrative.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely lucrative.
Yeah, it's got it's almost like a national series still being regional, but it is National Sprint League, and I think there's only growth from there.
One of the things that really stuck out to me, though, Neil, Front Row Challenge will be a National Sprint League race.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
Very interesting. We're going to leave it at that, though, and move right along. The next big race here for the sprint cars, we've been talking about it. We're very excited about it here at R&R. The Winter Heat Series down at Kokopah Speedway in January. It's going to be here before you know it. We kick things off January 2nd. We're barely into the new year, man.
Oh, it's. We're talking about Kokopah and the Winter Heat Series, and as that's going on, I've got mind spinning right now trying to get stuff done for the shootout in Tulsa and the Battle of Center. A lot of excitement coming to midget racing, and with some of the things that are going on out there, and I know there are some big name drivers putting things together to be at both the Battle at the Center and Chili Bowl in the midgets. And I'm gonna tell you, folks, get your tickets. It's gonna be something big, and I know really excited to see some of these World of Outlaw sprint car drivers going midget racing for a little bit.
We will may be able to pull off the wraps in a little while.
Yeah, it's in the works.
A special deal here.
Oh, it's a special deal, and
it's going to blow people's minds.
We're really excited about that, but not only that, it's just a deal where I'm looking at just some of the things that are coming together, and for fans out there, the apparel items, and really for you guys that are die-cast sprint car and midget collectors. Boy, hold on to your seats in 2015. We got some stuff that you guys have been waiting for, and going to put it out there, and going to be hard to get, and be sure to get in on them before they're gone, actually.
Did you just hear that rush of air? That's all the fanboys on the diecast programs rushing to grab their wallets. We love you guys. We really do. You guys are main reason why we continue to push so hard on these diecast programs. Your enthusiasm about it, your loyalty on it, we can't thank you enough. And just, going off of what Neil said, it was great this year to have the Sammy Swindell, Joey Saldana, and Darren Pittman cars back. But, folks, you ain't seen nothing yet. And we're going to leave it right there. Yeah, we tease people. That's what we do. Okay, moving right along. We preview some of the racing action this weekend. NHRA has the 50th Auto Club Finals at Pomona this weekend. Several title battles in play. And one thing that I've really enjoyed that they've been doing, Neil, on the NHRA Facebook page, they have been putting out some of the greatest moments in the history of the 50 years of the finals out there. And I think the other day I saw Tony Schumacher's The Run.
Yeah. Yep.
Where he had to break a world record, but he couldn't break it by too much, and I couldn't follow along with it. I'm still not smart enough, but he had to hit a window of 1% or something to win the title.
Right.
Amazing. They had another one. John Forsman, Cruz Petragon, won 5 races in a row. I saw an interview, and folks, if you don't like vulgar language, please cover your ears right now. John Force gave an interview about that title race one time, and he goes, yeah, Cruz Petragon on that hamburger stand from hell, sponsored by McDonald's, was a real big thorn in my side.
Well, as it goes for an interview, I don't think there's anything more exciting and get you fired up about drag racing, especially when they put a mic in front of John Force's mouth.
You're onto something there. I mean, I will listen to any Force interview I can find because I know we're not going to have him forever. I have to soak it all in now.
Oh, it's amazing to see what he's done and continues to do, especially at his age, and he hasn't let that be a hindrance whatsoever.
So when you're 65, could we get you into the seat of a funny car?
No.
What about now?
No.
You sure?
I'm retired. I retired at 40.
You're the handsome, devilish young man I was talking about earlier in the show here.
Well, I said handsome, but not young.
He'll take what he can get, folks. Have you noticed that? Okay. We move on, and then now we get to talk about what I really wanted to talk about here. NASCAR heads for Homestead Miami Speedway, the Ford Championship weekend.
We need a bell. A bell to signal the round is on here.
And a WWE style finish. Neil, let's break it down. Who do you have winning this thing? Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, or Ryan Newman?
I am a strong believer in this number 4 car.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I am 100% behind Kevin Harvick on this deal.
You're going for the win, huh? Hashtag for the win.
Yeah, hashtag for the win. I mean, it's I'm telling you, after last week's performance at Phoenix and just overall performance this year, it's the Fords to win and lose.
I'm going to disagree with you.
I knew you would.
Mm-hmm.
Knew you would.
Okay, I'm going to break it down this way.
All right.
Joey Logano, it's not your time, man. It's not your time. That Pennzoil tanker will be back another year. It's not Joey Logano's time.
Okay.
Denny Hamlin, get ready for another text from Michael Jordan about how it feels to lose a title, because you already lost one in 2010. You're going to lose this one in 2014.
Really?
Kevin Harvick, my man, driving the Budweiser beer wagon. Close, but no cigar. Close,
oh my God,
but no cigar. And that brings me to my pick for the 2014 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series title. Neil, he hails from the Hoosier state of Indiana. He is a dirt racer at heart. USAC runs through his veins. I'm going with the Purdue grad, Ryan No Neck Newman.
You're going with the hashtag Laytonizer.
Here's why. I'm telling you. We have made fun of, we have begrudged, we have ridiculed NASCAR's championship format this year.
But we're sitting here talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
My point being, there is a fraction of race fans, which I may alienate some at this point, but say that racing is only good when there's a ton of passing and there's a ton of winning. I vehemently disagree. I would love for Ryan Newman to win the title with nothing more. Right now, he's got like 4 top 5s and 16 top 10s. I would love for Ryan, here's what I'd love to see happen. Jimmy Johnson or Jeff Gordon wins the race. Ryan Newman finishes second, and since it is the first of the 4 to cross the finish line to get the title, Ryan Newman finishes second and wins the title without a victory. The irony of that.
I'm listening to this, and I'm going to say, and not to really throw you under the bus, not even close.
Shush.
I mean, not even close. I mean, what you just said, I think that you probably need to wake up and wipe the slobber off your mouth and jump in the shower, because it was a dream. That 4 is going to victory lane. He is solid. He's got the confidence. He's got the car. He's got the team. There isn't anybody going to hold him back.
You want to put a taco on this?
Oh, yeah.
Let's put. Okay.
I'll put a 6-pack of tacos on this.
Does Taco Bell still even have those big boxes?
I don't know. What do they call those things? A crave case?
Wait a minute. We both got to start eating healthier here. We're going to have to maybe change the taco.
I've been eating healthy. I don't know where you've been.
Dude, this weekend when we were in Vegas, I had nothing but like pizza and cookie. Ooh, I had a root beer float cookie.
Wow.
No joke.
Man,
It was a root beer float in my mouth.
That's awesome.
It was awesome. Okay, moving right along though. So,
You're sitting here telling the guy that's on the new bland diet about your root beer float and your pizza over there.
I'm getting a little upset over
I'm
there?
not having anything of it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just so you know.
I tell you, look slimmer and trimmer, man. It's working for you.
Yeah, I know.
It's working for you. We're going to have to watch out now. Some of the ladies in the trailers might start catcalling you next year when we go to the races.
Yeah, we'll see that.
All righty there, folks. So Neil Quick has Kevin Harvick in the NASCAR final. I have Ryan Newman. Now, should Joey Logano or Denny Hamlin happen to win it, it's just a lost season. It's just a lost season. It's just a lost season. But that's all of our time here today, folks. Remember, we want to thank you guys very much for tuning in to Gas and Glory. And please pick up some of the greatest drivers in the world gear over at www.r-rracewear.com, the web's largest store for dirt track racing apparel and merchandise. And on behalf of everyone here at R&R Enterprises, he is the young stallion Neil Quick, and I am Kyle Luters. We will see you next week.
You've been listening to Gas and Glory, presented by R&R Enterprises. All rights reserved. Please visit the web's largest sprint car store today at www.r-rracewear.com. The views and opinions expressed in the show are the host and guest alone and do not directly reflect those of R&R Enterprises.